This is the Cheap Fly Adventure 2. Well, where should I go this time? Shall we take a look at Ryanair's website? Oh, what's this? Newquay, Cornwall. Why does Ryanair even fly here? This has to be their worst route. Because from London, you'd have to travel up to Stansted. Then you'd have to faff about in the airport for hours like you always have to do when you're flying. Then to take a plane all the way across to Newquay, which is most likely not where you want to end up. So you then have to take a train anyway to get to your final destination. There's no point in this flight, because you might as well just take the train the entire way from London. So unless you've got a connecting flight at Stansted, I do not see why anyone would want to take this flight. And I've got no reason to go to Newquay. It's like, why would I want to go there? But you know what? Just because it's such a stupid route, I'm going to go on it just for the fun of it. So this is the Cheap Fly Adventure 2 shithole. So here's the plane landing into Newquay Airport. Shall we take a look at what this airport is like? Well, it is a proper shit airport. There have been some really bad ones, like La Rochelle in France, which is tiny, but Newquay is even smaller. This is what departures looks like. It is a fairly small shed, the absolute bare minimum they need for an airport. I'm amazed that Ryanair even lands at such a shitty tiny airport. But just wait until you see arrivals. This is the arrivals hall. It is so small. I actually know people with a garden shed bigger than this. What a shit airport!
That is the worst airport I've ever seen. Arrivals is just a little shed. Departures is a slightly bigger shed, but it's still a very small shed. Fucking hell, what have I come to?
Now it's time to get a bus along into Newquay itself, but it was such a long wait for a bus. Looking at the maps, I realised if I walked 2 miles down the road, I could actually get a bus sooner into Newquay, which is what I did. So here I am walking down this very small country road in the middle of nowhere, and along to the bus stop. But where is this bus stop? I can't see it anywhere. The map says it should be here. Well, bus stops in Cornwall are invisible. All of the locals know where the bus stops are, but if you're not local and you don't have a map, you'd be clueless as there's nothing to mark a bus stop. It is fucking weird.
So I've walked where the bus stop is on the map. Where's the bus stop? Apparently there's the bus stop the other way, and there's no sign for it. On this side, where is it? There is no bus stop. Apparently, according to map, it's right here.
Anyway, I now get on the bus into Newquay. I wonder what Newquay would be like. Maybe this is the new South Quay. Just think how nice South Quay is with all the skyscrapers. Maybe I'll go to the new Cornwall version. Turns out, Newquay is fucking shit. There's nothing here.
As we can see, we've got loads of amazing skyscrapers. Over there we've got Landmark Pinnacle. Over there we've got Madison. Oh, and over there you've got Wardian. Look at how amazing all these skyscrapers are. I've come to the right shit over. Surf cafe? There's nothing to surf. Welcome to Newquay. Fucking hell. Is Newquay going to be like South Quay, I wonder? Well, judging by this, no it's not. Oh my, look how cheap this is. I reckon you might not even be able to stand on top, that's so cheap. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Look how nasty that is. That's horrible.
So let's take a look at this very posh looking hotel. This has got an old Otis lift, but sadly they've horribly modernised it.
Well, this is actually a classic, before the mod. That actually looks very Otis. I modded it with Otis.
So then, let's now get on the bus out of this shithole and go somewhere else. bus along to St Austell. Turns out his bus got stuck in traffic. It was so late into St Austell, I actually had to run to get on my train there. So I didn't actually get to explore St Austell, but I don't think I was missing very much because it also looked like a shithole village. So I now get on a train along to my next destination, which is Liskeard. And the reason why I wanted to visit Liskeard is because this part of the valley down in Cornwall is famously outdated, and Liskeard is like going back in time here. This is what Liskeard station looks like, and it's still got a signal box with semaphore signals. There's no automation here, the entire signalling is done manually. But what's even more interesting is not only has it got semaphores, which some parts of the railway still has, but it's got something I thought was long since outlawed. It's got down-dropping semaphores rather than raising semaphores. Now with a raising semaphore, it starts horizontal as red, but then it raises to go green. This means that if ever the cable was to snap, it will drop back to red again. Meanwhile, with a dropping semaphore, it starts horizontal as red, then drops down to green. Meaning that if the cable was to snap, the gravity would drop the signal into the green position. I'm amazed that this thing's still in service. Like, it's really nice to see, like, historically, but I didn't know anywhere still had these on the main line. Another interesting thing about Liskeard is the little branch line to Looe, which is one of the few places in the UK has a looping track just to make a gradient. The line goes in a full circle back on itself as it leaves Liskeard just so it can get down a steep hill. This line has got an even more outdated signalling system than the main line, as it doesn't even have signals. It still uses tokens. How can I have token in passenger service in the modern day? I mean, it's really interesting for me seeing this because it's like going back in time. But imagine having to live here with this outdated system. Like, oh my, I couldn't live in a place like this.
I couldn't. Stop. Obtain token and authority to proceed. Fucking hell. I'm actually running passenger service on a line this antiquated and outdated. It's crazy.
Let's now take a look around Liskeard. And it turns out Liskeard is a little tiny crappy village where there's nothing to do. So let's now leave Liskeard and let's actually get on to somewhere worth seeing. So I get on a bus along to Plymouth and along to Plymouth University. And let's revisit the Otis lifts, which have the special feature, the random button.
Please select your floor.
Random.
Doors closing.
Unless you do it, if it goes please select your floor, it won't do it if it sets going up or down. That's to stop you. That's to stop you overusing it. So if it's not by direction set, so if no one else wants it and the arrow goes out,
Doors opening.
so your arrow's gone out, that means you can use the feature.
Please select your floor.
We're going to floor 3
Doors
this time.
closing.
Where shall I go next?
Please select your floor.
2.
Doors closing.
Please select your floor. Door closing. This is the best Otis lift I think I know of. This lets you go to a random floor. We're going to 4 this time.
Floor.
Let me do another one because it was slowing down at a point 2 the second floor and it didn't have another call. If it's like got another call selected, it won't let you press the random button.
4th floor. Doors opening.
Let's test that. If I press the button now,
Select your floor.
it still hasn't got a direction set. Interesting. Outside it's got a direction set, but inside it hasn't. So I can do another random call.
Doors closing.
I didn't actually know that with the direction set outside, it's not necessarily set inside. Learnt something new today.
Doors opening.
Yes, I'm going to go to ground. Finally it takes me here.
And let's see what other lifts are in this university.
Danger to be opened in case of fire. That's a weird setup for a fire exit.
And along to this absolute masterpiece of lift engineering.
Please mind the doors. Doors closing. Going up.
Going up. Leicester. Oh fucking hell, it's RJ fucking Leicester. Shit thinks emergency stop and I can't even stop it. This is shit.
Floor 7.
Don't get RJ to install your lift, they do a terrible job.
Doors opening.
Okay, I was a bit confused what this was. I mean, it's just a showroom. I was only supposed, was this an art thing? I've seen a lot of art, like modern art stuff. It's just like a random bedroom layout. You can't get in there. It looks like it's a new space. It's not, it's just a show flat. I thought it was a bit of modern art, like it could be. A typical student's bedroom.
And these lifts here go up to the student accommodation, but to call them, it requires an RFID reader. Oh dear. Looks like it's defeated me. I mean, I can't get in it now, can I? Oh, wait, actually I can.
Access for residents and triangle key holders only.
Mind the doors. Doors closing.
Dunk.
So then, along to Plymouth Town Centre, and let's see what lifts are in the shopping centre. These are some Otis 2000 lifts, and this here is the one and only modern Dewhurst product that actually looks really nice. The rest of Dewhurst products are really plain, boring and dull looking, yet just this one product is actually really modern looking, very non-Dewhurst like actually. I mean, if you didn't know that this was made by Dewhurst, you'd never guess it, because this looks far too good to be a Dewhurst product, but it is.
That's harsh. Oh, I want to do it again, fuck it.
And along into next. And no guesses what lifts are in here. It's more PLC hydraulic rubbish.
This is so bad.
Mind the doors, please.
Fucking hell. I feel like I was stopping this in normal service then. But going up's better because it's more bouncy on a hydraulic when you stop it.
Mind the doors, please.
Fuck. That was one of the hardest ones I've ever done. Oh my.
And now I go along to this abandoned House of Fraser. Oh wait, it's actually not abandoned, it just looks that way on the outside. The lifts here have been modernised by Generic.
Please mind the doors. Doors closing. Going up. Going up.
Well, that's not very gentle.
Please mind the doors.
And now I go along to Crown Plaza. The lifts here have been replaced with generics with new lift logic.
It's new lift logic. Oh my. Everywhere's ruined round here.
Doors closing. Please mind the doors.
Fucking hell. URBEX, what a load of shit.
Penthouse. Doors opening.
Stop reasonably. It's lit in the next shaft. That's missing. Lift. Come to wait. Okay, in all fairness, these are actually pretty reasonable. They look absolutely ugly, but they run quite nice. They're level quite quick and they're actually quite well built. I can't really fault them other than they look really ugly on the interior. But seriously, how could anyone deal with this utter shit interior? It's so horrible. This screams generic. The level's pretty good. Yeah, that's really good actually.
So I now get on a bus and go to the next location, which is Paignton. So here I'm in Paignton, and it turns out this place is such a shithole. It's the sort of place as soon as getting here, I immediately want to leave. So let's go along to the train station.
There's nothing here. You're here to go places, there's literally nothing here at all.
And let's jump straight on a train and get out of here.
I've never been somewhere that's quite nothing like this.
And a Looe go to the neighbouring town of Torquay. So the first place I visit in Torquay is the Grand Hotel, which isn't really very grand anymore. They've also modernised their really nice old lift with generic, so it's not so nice anymore.
Going up. Fourth floor.
Why doesn't change your at last minute?
So then, it's now time for me to camp for the night, because I am not spending money on overpriced hotels, because the hotels in England are stupidly expensive and aren't paying out for that shit, so I hammocked in the woods. So then the next day, let's take a look around Torquay and just take a look at what this place looks like. It looks like I'm in Monaco. This area is actually known as the English Riviera. They've actually built this town to look like Monaco or the south of France. This is very interesting, and considering the part of England I'm in is mainly full of little shitty villages, for the area, Torquay is actually really nice. Like, I mean, it's not as good as Monaco. It doesn't have all the big towers and nice tall lifts everywhere, but apart from a lack of towers, it is kind of similar in a weird way. Torquay is like a hidden gem. I didn't actually realise it'd be like this, and I was actually really pleasantly surprised by Torquay. Along we go to a very posh hotel. This hotel's got old lifts that have been modernised by Schindler. Now, Schindler mods are a bit different to ordinary lift mods, because usually a lift mod is like slap on some buttons, change your logic, slow down the lift, make it to a crapper, less good VF because it's all generic parts. However, Schindler mods are a bit similar to cone mods, as it is proper Schindler stuff, and they do something a bit more interesting and creative with their mods, making them interesting in their own right. The first lift I go to has been modernised with Schindler belt cables on a 2-to-1 wheel overslung on the top of the lift, which is something you don't see on Schindler's MRLs. This is a type of mod you see quite a bit in Germany. However, in England, this is actually quite rare.
Weird mod. This is fucking posh.
So along to the next lift, which is an old swing door lift as modernised by Schindler. This one just has regular cables, and this lift was actually out of service as they were replacing the cables. I open up the lift and you can see a lift is on chains, and the main cables of the lift are slack where they're replacing them.
Oh, it's on its hoist. Yeah, cables are slack. Cable replacement. That 5400 style mod is far, far better than 3300 style mod on the other ones. Oh, it's still got circle tracks. I'm surprised they didn't replace those. Fucking hell, you wouldn't expect that on a 5400 mod. Still have circle tracks. Shame it doesn't work though.
So along to the third lift, which is similar to the first one, but this one's got some interesting custom announcements. Let's take a listen to them.
As long as it's on that floor T for the Torquay suite. Floor 1 mezzanine.
First floor mezzanine rooms, numbers 144.
So quiet you can barely hear it.
Numbers 43 to 49. G garden level rooms, numbers 10 to 21.
So then, now we go along to some tower blocks. This first tower block has an interesting old lift, but sadly it's been horribly modernised.
That's unusual.
This one is not so interesting anymore, but let's skip this one because the next tower block has an identical lift which still has its original buttons. The logic's been replaced with digital advance, but at least it still looks original.
Garden and drive. Garden. Oh no, you can't even see. All that shit over it. You can't. Oh, what can't I have a manufacturer for? Garden. Drive. Oh, there you go. It's 1970s style. See, it's aligned left at the bottom like that on that text. So 70s, 80s they put in the centre. So here's an old one. I want to know what model of lift this is. Please ensure hold lift button is off when you leave the lift. That's park.
This is under car preference control. Doors closing. This lift is under car preference control.
Oh, the logic's been changed.
So I was actually opening up his lift to take a look on top of it, and a resident came round the corner and caught me with the shaft doors open.
Yeah.
Seems that Torquay is a vigilante area. Well, let's face it, this part of England with loads of little villages is vigilante land because everyone knows everyone and everyone's on the lookout for people they don't know going into their buildings. So yes, once again, vigilantes. Ugh. Also, quite a lot of the tower blocks around Torquay were actually surprisingly secure. So then, now we go along to the shopping centre in Torquay, which has Torquay's best lift. It's got a classic, original Schindler iconic. And to see this, make sure you check out part 2, because this is the end of part 1 of this cheap flight adventure. The adventure continues in part 2.